Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about foundation, and specifically I'm talking about the It Cosmetics CC Cream Your Skin But Better foundation. So here's the box that it came in. Alright, so that's that. Nice little hollow. Can you see that? Beautiful. And the actual product is this right here. A gorgeous silver packaging. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, so let's just dive right in and talk about my thoughts, my opinions, and the whole 411. So before I dive right in, if you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe and become part of the Kwak fam. What are you waiting for? So let's just jump right in. Alright, this foundation. I've been using it for a little bit of time, like I said in the intro, and I have many good things to say about this. Some bad stuff too, you know, a little bit of negative, but everyone's different. But let's start off with the positive. First of all, my face right now, I am using the foundation currently, and I think the foundation held up pretty nicely. It is currently like 8:36 p.m. at night, and I've put this foundation on since like what, 7:30 a.m. Had it on all day, went to church, went to my parents' house, grabbed dinner, did a bunch of stuff, and I still think my foundation came out pretty nicely. It still held up very well. So, first of all, this foundation, in my opinion, is a nice, I don't want to call it full coverage, but I do want to say it is like, a very nice coverage foundation. You get what I mean? It's like a not full coverage, but a nice coverage enough to say it's kind of full coverage. It definitely is like a nice your skin but better type of look. Alright, so that's how I feel about it. I don't think my face looks cakey at all. I feel like it looks very natural, but a nice coverage. Not like, I guess, full coverage. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like it's cakey, but it still looks like you have a nice skin going on. So that's the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed, and I had to write all this down because I didn't want to miss any like details or points when I'm sharing this information with you guys. So the second thing I noticed when applying this is definitely like, you feel like you're definitely applying foundation, but not in a bad way. It has a nice creamy and like a very like hydrating feeling, and that makes sense because it does say on the packaging itself, it tells you it's a hydrating serum, and you definitely get that feeling when you're applying this. It gives you a nice like creamy feeling when applying it, and you feel that hydration. At least for me, I did. And side note, I do have like dry skin, so maybe because I have dry skin, I felt it more. I don't know, but that's just how I felt. Alright, the next thing I noticed was, let's see. Well, this thing, it's not that I noticed it. I believe when I picked this up, which by the way, I picked it up from Ulta, I think they have like 7 shades. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they have 7 shades in total, which by the way, I am in the shade medium tan. So if you're like a similar skin complexion or skin tone like I am, then at least you can grab the shade medium tan for your skin tone. Alright, and I feel like having 7 shades, if there are 7, I'm pretty sure there's 7 shades. So I feel like having 7 shades is actually, yes, it's not like a whole like 40, 50, 60 shade range. I get that. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I do feel like that is a good range of shade colors, So it's not like a super basic dark medium light foundation color. I mean, it's not a foundation, it's a CC cream, but you get what I'm saying. It's not like a simple dark medium light, color selection or shade selection. It kind of branches out just a little bit. I mean, it can branch out more, yes, but I still think it's a good selection. And I know some people, because one of the products don't work for them, the shade color, they like to kind of mix and match, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to just kind of mix and make your own little formulation and then see what really works for your skin tone. But for me, the shade medium tan is a perfect fit. So that is the shade color or the foundation CC cream that I'm wearing on my face. Alright, the next thing I noticed about this is it tells you that it has SPF 50+. And I feel like whenever foundations say they have an SPF or something, it kind of confuses people. And by that, let me explain myself. So, even though foundation has an SPF, I still, in my opinion, I still recommend, applying foundation. Backtrack, erase, I'm sorry, messed up. In my opinion, I still feel like you should apply SPF lotion or cream or whatever it is, not the foundation. And I say that because, for example, the It Cosmetics CC cream, yes, it has an SPF of 50 plus, UVA and UVB protection. Excellent. When you read the back, however, and if you ever do read the back, which I think you should probably always read the back label, especially if you're applying it to your skin, the largest organ in your body, hello, you want to take care of it. So, it tells you that, well, let me just read it to you right away. It tells you, apply liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure. Liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure. All right, now the term liberally means what? Like a good amount. And I don't know about you, but yes, I want to apply a good amount of this on my face, but I'm not going to apply a crap ton on my face. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to apply enough to kind of cover up my skin and make it look nice. You get it? And then right below that it says reapply at least every 2 hours. Now, I guess if you're using this as more of a sunblock type thing, then you can do that. But for me, I'm using it more like a foundation type product, not so much a product I'm applying right before I go to the beach. You know what I mean? Normally when I go to the beach, I don't really wear foundation. I don't wear makeup. Maybe a little bit of mascara, stuff like that. But, not foundation. So to apply this every 2 hours when I've already applied, my whole face makeup on, it just doesn't really make sense to me. So, it's not really a SPF 50 protection for me. Does that make sense? I hope that does. All right, moving on. The next thing this thing tells us is that it is an anti-aging product, and I think that is an excellent thing because, who doesn't like keeping up with your skin? Anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, beautiful, love all that stuff. That is, can't go wrong with that. Okay, so let's talk about the application. Now, before I talk about application, I want to tell you that this product is, first of all, that is what the packaging looks like in the front, and that's what it looks like in the back. And it is a pump. So that means, you don't have to worry about getting your spatula, getting your finger, messing around with it, making it dirty. Just, pump that out of your little thing and, good to go. So definitely very clean and hygienic. You know what I mean? Okay, so application. So you can apply it with a sponge or with a brush. So I applied it with both sponges and brushes. And I feel like, surprisingly, a brush works better. I guess maybe because I have to get a new beauty blender or a new Real Techniques blender or sponge, but I feel like the brush works better than the sponge. So since I already have makeup on, I don't want to apply right on top of it. That just doesn't make sense. So what I'm going to do is show you on the back of my hand what it looks like applied with a sponge and what it looks like applied with a brush. So on my left hand, let's pump a little bit on. So here we go. And mind you, there's nothing on my hand right now. All right. Clean hand. So I got some product on my hand. All right. So here we have nothing but the foundation I just pumped out. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this with a damp sponge. Right here. Here's a sponge. Now, I'm not saying that it looks horrible, with the sponge application. I just feel like it covers and applies better with the brush. But, I feel like everyone's skin type is different. So, you gotta do what works for you. Alright, so I went ahead and applied that with the sponge on my left hand. I'm gonna go ahead and do my right hand with the brush real quick. And I'll show you side by side a little comparison of what they look like. I am pumping some foundation on the back of my hand. So a little bit of foundation like so. And then using a brush, we're going to just apply this. Alright, so I went ahead and applied both of them, and hopefully the camera's picking up nicely. So the hand with a watch is where I applied with the sponge, and the hand without the watch is the brush. And you know, they both came out very nicely, you know, but I just feel like the brush just comes out a little bit more nicer. Maybe it's because it comes out a little bit more fuller coverage, and it helps cover my freckles, which is, you know, a lot of the times my goal. Alright, so yeah, that's what they look like. Of course, every skin type is different, so you apply this CC cream or whatever the way you want it to be. So I just feel like the brush just came out nicely, and I applied this foundation with the brush, but I did also apply powder right on top of it. So you know what, let me show you what it looks like with powder on top. And the powder I used, you can use whatever powder you want, but I used the original Airspun loose face powder. Alright, so here it is again with powder set on top of the CC cream. Again, this hand with the watch is the sponge application, and this hand without the watch is the brush application. So yes, they both came out nicely, like I said, but I feel like the brush came out a little bit better. Alright, next let's talk about how this foundation, I feel like, really evens out your skin tone. Again, it's not like, I feel like my little review is kind of all over the place, but hopefully you're catching on. Anyways, it is a nice even covered skin tone. You can tell from the back of my hand that it does cover very nicely, and it gives you a nice, like, nice, clean, smooth, textured finish, which is definitely a plus. Alright, so I feel like I've already like spilled out all the good beans, all the positives of this beautiful CC cream. I was going to say foundation, but it's not a foundation, it's just a CC cream. So, this beautiful full coverage cream. There you go. So, let me just say a little bit of negative stuff. Just a little bit. It's not so much that I'm like, oh, this product is so bad. You know, I will still give it, I'll still give it a 5-star because it's a really good CC cream. Just gonna say it, you know, I'm just gonna say it's a really good CC cream. So honestly, I would give it a 5-star. But if I had to take away, like, maybe like a little, not even a half a star, but like maybe like just that little point off the star, you know what I mean? Just kind of like take a little point off the star, just like a 1/5 of the star, you know what I'm saying? So still like 5 stars. The only reason why I did not like this product, is because I noticed like around my nose and kind of like around like this like area right here, you know what I mean? I don't really have like a big smile line, you know, like when I'm smiling, you know, I don't think I do at least, but I did notice, especially, I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, so I did notice, especially around my nose, that it kind of like, it didn't really separate so much, but it did kind of like crease a little bit, and just a tad bit around my nose, it kind of like, you know, the foundation kind of wore off a little bit. Not foundation, the CC cream wore off a little bit, so, it didn't bother me much. It's nothing that I couldn't kind of like, you know, touch up a little bit, but I did notice it, and I wanted to point that out. But other than that, I think this foundation is, I keep saying foundation, I'm so sorry. I think this CC cream is a great CC cream, and if you haven't tried it already, I feel like you should definitely try it out. I have dry skin, so I know it works for me. I'm sure it'll work for anyone, I guess. It says it's hydrating and anti-aging, so I don't see why it wouldn't work for anyone. But I have dry skin, it worked for me, and again, I'll give it 5 stars minus like a 1/5 of that last star. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a good product, and I'm giving it like a great review because I feel like it is a good product. Alright, so yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Alright, so hopefully this video was helpful, and I hope it was very informative. If it was and you like videos like this, go ahead and click that like button down below. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe over there where my face is and become part of the Kwak fam. And of course, watch my previous video below there. That is if you want to. I strongly encourage that you do. Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully your post notification bell is on, and I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, wherever you are. I'll talk to you next time. Alright, bye!